Hey guys, today we are talking about entry-level electric violins. This is going to be a lot of fun. There are tons of options in the electric violin world. As you can see behind me, all of these violins are different. Gosh, which one should I pick if I'm just getting started in the electric violin world? Well, we're going to help you with that in this video. If you are buying your first electric violin, welcome to the dark side. We have cookies. It's pretty awesome here. You'll discover that playing an electric violin is pretty similar to playing an acoustic violin. It's, got E string, A string. It's, just pull your bow, the fingerboard, the whole bit. Very, very similar. Most of the things you know about acoustic violins will translate to electric violins. They're not exactly alike, which is not terribly surprising. If you know about guitars, you know that acoustic guitars and electric guitars, very similar, but not quite the same. My advice to people is, how you learn to play your acoustic violin? You sort of spend some time with it and you listen and you try some different techniques. You go, oh, that doesn't sound as good. Oh, that sounds better. You're going to do the same thing with your electric violin. You're going to form a relationship with that instrument, sort of experiment with your technique to know how to make that violin sound the best to you. And then that process works for electrics the same way it works for acoustics. We have lots and lots of options. As I said, we carry violins by over 20 different manufacturers from all over the world, and we ship to 90 plus countries, so we can almost certainly help you no matter where you are or what you're looking for. Violins are not made by skill level, so there's not like, oh, this is a beginner violin, this is a professional violin. All of the instruments that we carry, we have vetted and say that we're willing to stand behind this instrument. There are professionals playing pretty much every instrument that we sell here. So even though it's maybe a more inexpensive instrument in some cases, there are professionals playing that instrument, making a living on that instrument, and making high-level art with that instrument. We don't carry any cheap junk that's going to fall apart, that's going to break. You're not going to find any $100 or $200 violins here. We've kind of discovered the price floor for a quality instrument, one that we're willing to stand behind, is $600 or $700. So if you're sort of new to this and you're like, well, I want to buy an instrument that's nice enough that it's not fighting me, but I don't really want to sell my house to buy this thing, we sort of find that $600 or $700 to $1,000 price range is going to be kind of a good spot for you. And we've got a number of instruments in that price range, and those are the ones we're going to review today. So what are we going to see? We've got several instruments. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a video where you can hear each of these instruments back to back to back to back. The most important thing about an instrument is what it sounds like, right? So we're going to let you hear what several of these instruments sound like. Everybody's different. I might like one better than the other one. You might like one different from what I do. Oh, which is the best one? There is no best. It's which one suits your desires and your needs the most. And only you can tell which instrument sounds the best to you. So you're going to hear all these instruments. Then we're going to go one by one through these instruments and talk about what the features are, the pros and cons, what they come with, all that sort of thing. What are we going to hear? You're about to hear several of these instruments. We've sort of taken the sound, and you're going to hear about a 50-50 blend of the direct sound from the pickup. And then the other 50% of what you're going to hear is run into a Fishman Loudbox amplifier and then picked up by a microphone in the room. So it's a kind of a nice blend between direct and an amplified amp in the room kind of sound. What order are we going to do these? These are going to be alphabetical by manufacturer and then model number or model name. So these are the instruments that you're going to hear, and here we go. a lot of fun. So several instruments there you can hear. Yes, there are some wildly different tones from one instrument to another. And that's why there are all these different instruments, because they're all different. And you may want one tone for one type of sound, another tone for another type of music that you're playing, or whatever. So whichever one speaks to you, if that sounds right to you, you're probably going to have a good time with that instrument. I actually like all of these instruments for different reasons. The same way if you have more than one kid, you like all your kids, but for different reasons, right? So that's how I look at that. Let's go through each of these instruments sort of one at a time and talk about a couple of the feature sets and what do they come with. The Aurora Oro is the first one that we played. Those come in 4 and 5 string. We haven't really talked about 5 strings here. All the ones that we reviewed, I only used a 4 string lick on those. We have other videos about 5 string violins, so I'll let you dive into those if you're interested about 5 string violins. But the Aurora Oro comes with 4 strings or 5. They come in a bunch of different colors. They do come with a case. They do not come with a bow. The next instrument that I played is the Aurora WS. Also comes in 4 string and 5 string. They do come in a number of colors. We don't get nearly as many of these as we do the Oros, but it does come with a case. It does not come with a bow. The next instrument that I played, the Barcus Berry, only comes in 4 strings, and you notice that this one's a little different. I played it plugged in and unplugged. This is the only acoustic electric in the lineup that we've got here, meaning that it is an acoustic violin. You can play it without plugging it in, and it's got electronics in it, so you can plug it in and play it as an electric. The downside to that is that you can't do silent practice like you can with these solid body instruments. And of course, silent is relative. Every electric violin actually makes a little sound under your ear, but they're generally quieter than like what you would watch TV. So if you're watching your TV doesn't bother your neighbors, practicing your solid body electric violin will not bother your neighbors. That's a really nice feature. But you can only perform with them with amplification. You can't hear the thing. You can barely hear it under your ear. Your audience certainly isn't going to be able to hear it. So the downside to a solid body instrument is that it needs amplification. The upside to a solid body instrument is that it needs amplification. So the Barcus Berry, only available in 4 strings, comes in a number of colors. It is an acoustic electric. It comes with a case and a bow. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about an instrument that's under $1,000 for the instrument and the bow and the case. It's not a great bow. It does work. It's not a great bow, but it does have a bow. The next one was the Gewa Novita. Is available in 4 string and 5 string. Comes in 3 different colors. It has a headphone amp built in. It is not the only one in this list. It's almost the only one in this list. But it has a headphone amp built in, so you can either send your sound out to an amplifier for a performance, or you can send to a set of headphones, not both. You have to pick. It does come with a case, does not come with a bow. The NS Design WAV. NS is Ned Steinberger, a pretty famous name in the instrument making community. The WAV, they have 3 different levels of instruments. The WAV is the lowest tier of those. Really nice instruments, though, available in 4 and 5 string. Lots of colors. It is a really crazy shaped instrument. It comes with its own custom case. Does not come with a bow. The Wood Violins Stingray, available in 4 and 5 string, is available in red or black. Does come with a case. Does not come with a bow. And the Yamaha YEV, available in 4 and 5 strings. I think I played a natural one in the video. They also come in black. Does not come with a case. Does not come with a bow. Just the instrument. It comes in a cardboard box. And these ones actually arrive at our shop not all the way assembled. So the bridges on them are way too high. They do that because it's easier to cut a bridge down than it is to add wood to something. So they intentionally make the bridge too big so that a luthier can cut it to the correct shape for you. Our luthier in-house does that job free of charge. So we set each of these instruments up. We set all of these instruments up before you get them, and we have somebody play test them before they go out the door. The Yamaha instruments do require a little bit more work. If you're looking to buy from somebody else, hey, I can save $5 by working local. Okay, that's up to you, but you're probably going to need a $100 setup job on that instrument, because when they come from Yamaha, they're not really very playable. So anyway, does come, no case, no bow, comes in a cardboard box, but we do set it up free of charge. The other instrument, which I did not play for you guys, is the Yamaha YSV104. It looks like their other silent violins, kind of looks like the SV250. You can tell about the headstock is different on these. This is only available in 4-string, comes in 3 different colors, does not come with a case, does not come with a bow. Why didn't I play it for you? Well, that's a great question. They are not designed for live performance. The only way to get sound out of this instrument is you run a special cable to a control box. And that control box has an 1/8 inch headphone jack only. It does not have a 1/4 inch output that you can send to an amplifier. It is only designed to be a practice instrument. They sound amazing in the headphones, but I don't want anybody to get the idea that you can take this instrument and you're just going to go out and play a concert with it. It only has a headphone output. Can you run a line out of there? Yes, you can. That's not really what they're designed for. The impedance is all wrong for hooking into your amps and effects and all that kind of stuff. Believe me when I tell you, the YSV is a fantastic practice instrument. It is not designed to be used for live performance. So if you only want a practice instrument, it's a really good choice. If you want something for practice and performance, I would probably pick one of the other instruments in this list. All right, lots of decisions to make. The first big decision you got to make is, do you want 4 strings or 5 strings? Again, we said we've got some other videos that are going to go more in depth on this, but what is that 5th string? I thought violins had 4 strings. They do. Violins have E, A, D, and G traditionally. But for a number of reasons now with amplification, we can go all the way up to 7 or 8 strings if we want to. A 5 string is actually, we sell more 5 strings than 4 strings. Very, very common, very, very popular in the electric string world. A 5 string adds a low C, which is the C from a viola. So you've got a violin and a viola all in one instrument, which is wonderful. Lots of violinists also play viola. Lots of violists also play violin. You can take viola jobs and violin jobs with one instrument. It's fantastic. I figure it takes about 10 hours of practice time or less to adjust to having that 5th string on there. The string angles are a little bit different. The string spacing is a little bit different. Not a whole lot. Your body's going to know what to do. If you know how to play a 4-string violin, going to a 5 string is a fairly small adjustment. Most people can do it in a week of practice or less. Why would you want 5 strings? If you play both violin and viola, it's great. If you're an improviser, it's great. If you are only a classical violinist, you only read what's on the page, that's what you want this thing for, then that 5th string's probably just going to be in your way, honestly. But if you are an improviser or you play violin and viola, then a 5 string is really, really nice. All right, so if you are buying your first electric violin, and we talked about the fact that solid body violins cannot be performed without amplification, am I going to need an amplifier? Yes, but what amplifier do I need? Well, it depends on what you're going to do. Is it for a practice situation? Then I would say maybe headphones or a desktop amplifier. If you're going to be performing, you're going to need a different amplifier. We've got videos that sort of help walk you through that process of choosing which amplifier you're going to use. Not going to go into it in this video, but yes, you are going to need some sort of amplification for this instrument. And again, we've got other videos that can help you figure out what is going to be the right product for you. When you are ready to buy this instrument, how do I do this? Well, our website is where you can find pricing and availability. I have not mentioned any specific prices on these instruments because prices change and videos stay on YouTube for a long time. So again, I'm making this video in August 2023, and prices are going to be different in 2025. I'm pretty sure they will be. So I don't want to put a price on here and say, well, this one's $823. And 5 years from now, somebody sees this video and they want to know where that $800 violin is. Well, we still have the violin, but it's not $823 anymore. So if you go to our website, you can find all the pricing and availability. You might be, hey, do you have a purple one of these? Well, this is where you go check right here. So electricviolinshop.com is it's the resource for all the questions that you'll have about what do we have, what do they cost, all that. This is what our website looks like. At the very top of the page, you can see where it says violins, violas, cellos. If you hover over that with your mouse, you're going to get a drop-down menu, and it's going to look like this, where you can shop by brand, 4-string, 5-string, all that. If you go to shop by brand and hover over that, you get another pop-out menu that's going to go down and list all of the manufacturers that we carry, and you can look for violins that way. So that is how the website works. If you are looking for a violin, a very specific violin like this NS Design WAV, which at the time I made this video is out of stock, it's going to say on there when you hover over the picture of the violin, oh, this thing's out of stock. Click on that picture, even though it says out of stock, and then you'll notice right here where it's underneath the price where it says notify me when this product is in stock. If you're interested in that violin, you can click on that. That's actually a link. Then you can put in your information and our system will send you a message when that violin comes back into stock. So how am I going to get this thing shipped to me? What is shipping cost? All of that. In the lower 48 states of the United States, if you are buying, and I forget the amount of money, I think it's around $500. If you spend more than $500, shipping is free in the lower 48 states. If you are outside the lower 48 states or in one of the 90 countries that we sell to, unfortunately, shipping is not free for you. But the way you find out what that shipping cost is you click the instrument, put it in your shopping cart, and then go to checkout on our website. When you go to checkout on the website, you can put in your address. Say you live at 10 Downing Street in London. I don't know. I hear somebody lives there. You can put in your postal code, and it will tell you what the cost of shipping to that location is. And it'll give you some different options on how do you want it shipped to you. We ship to 90 plus countries. We cannot keep track of all the tax laws in 90 plus different countries. We can barely keep track of them here in the United States. So if you are in Aruba and you buy one of these instruments, I can tell you what it's going to cost to ship it to you, but you're going to have to contact your local customs office to find out what the import duties are. And as much as I would love to make you a fake invoice that's going to say, oh, this instrument was only $100, and so that's going to drive your import duties down, that is mega illegal here in the US. We will get in a lot of trouble. And we want to continue to service you and all of your friends. And if we are in jail or out of business because we broke the law, then we can't sell any more violins. Sorry. So yeah, a lot of people ask that, and I get it. I know it's a thing in some places. We cannot do that. I wish we could, but not possible. So I hope this answered a bunch of questions that you had about entry-level electric violins. What are some of my options? What do they come with? What do they sound like? And I hope it's been helpful for you. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out a couple of the other videos we've got, and we will see y'all next time.